Namaste to all. Today I am going to start the force and pressure part 2. Already we have discussed part 1. Before going to the lesson, I would like to ask you some common questions to you. Have you ever questioned yourself, how does your rolling ball comes to rest after a while? As you know, after a certain time it will come to rest, isn't it? Good. Is physical contact necessary to apply a force? That means physically we need to touch the ball to apply the force on it. Is it necessary? How can you change the shape of an object? Do you want to answer this? To answer this, you need to watch this video till the end. At the end of this video, you can able to answer these things. Effects of force means what the force can do, and types of forces. Types of force in the sense contact force and non-contact force. Okay, let's start with the effects of force. To understand the effects of force, watch this video carefully. Here, initially the ball is at a state of rest. After applying the force, it came to state of motion. And here, the ball is initially moving and it is stopped by the player. That means you can, by applying the force, you can change the state of motion. It may be initially at rest or motion, or you can change the speed of the ball also. Observe this example. Someone is squeezing the sponge. Observe its shape. You can make different shapes by applying the force on a wax or a clay. And you can deform the shape of a bottle, or you can squeeze the lemon by applying the force. By all these examples, by applying the force, you can change the shape of an object. When you apply the force on an object, you can change the shape of it. Can we change the direction of an object by applying the force? Observe, here the player is changing the direction of a ball continuously. Isn't it? Good. Here our Sachin also going to change the direction of a ball by applying the force. So you can change the direction of an object by applying force. By all these examples, we can define the force like this. Force is an external agent which can change or tries to change the state of object or shape or direction of an object. Try to learn few more points about this. Force is a vector quantity. Vector quantity means you know that it should have both the direction and magnitude. Yes, force is a vector quantity. And we will measure the force in terms of newtons. Newton is the SI unit of force. Okay, let's start the next concept in this. That is types of forces. We have two types of forces, contact force and non-contact force. Let's see individually. Contact force. What contact force means? The force which is applied when it is in the contact with the body. We have two types of forces like muscular force and frictional force. These both the forces require physical contact. Now, muscular force. The force resulting due to the action of an muscles. So here muscles force we will use. We will apply the force by our muscle. To lift the objects, we need to get into contact with that object. But here we are applying our muscular force. Similarly, to ride the bicycle also, we need to get into contact to that. To pull the objects or to push the objects, we need to get into contact. Not only as animals also will do many works by using its muscular power. Here also contact is compulsory. That's why we can say that muscular force is an example for contact force. What is friction? The force which opposes the relative motion between the two contact surfaces is called frictional force. If you roll a ball on a surface, it will cover certain distance and it will come to rest. Yes or no? Good. Is there any force acting on it? Yes. When the object is moving on a surface, it will get contact to the surface. Then the frictional force acts on it in opposite direction to its motion. So frictional force acts when it is in a contact. That's why it is also a contact force. Non-contact without force. Any physical contact. Is it possible to apply a force on an object without any contact? Yes, there are examples here. Gravitational force, electrostatic force and magnetic force. These are non-contact force examples. One of the non-contact force is gravitational force. What is gravitational force? The force that exists between any two bodies virtue of their mass. That means gravitational force exists any two masses in the universe without any physical contact. It's a well-known example for the gravitational force. Look at here, the apple is falling towards the ground, but there is no contact between them. Similarly, if you drop a ball from certain height, then also it reaches the ground but there is no contact between. Like that, the gravitational force exists among all the planetary bodies also, but there is no physical contact. That's why gravitational force is a non-contact force. Electrostatic force exerted by charged body on another charged body or uncharged body is called electrostatic force. Look at here, there are two balloons. One of the balloon brought too near to another one. Is there any force acting between them? No. Now charge the one of the balloon by rubbing with the woolen cloth. Now what happened? Now the charged balloon attracting the uncharged balloon. That means there is a force acting between them now. Is there any contact initially? No. It's happening due to the charge accumulated on a red balloon. What happens if you charge both the balloons? Now charge the blue balloon also and brought too near to it. Then you can see there is a repulsion between the two balloons because like charges repels. Here also no need of any physical contact. Either it may be attraction or repulsion. The bodies or electrostatic bodies doesn't need any physical contact. That's why electrostatic force is also an example for the non-contact force. One more non-contact force is magnetic force. What is it? The force of attraction or repulsion by a magnet on another magnet or a magnetic material is called as a magnetic force. We all like to play with the magnets. Here, two magnets are going to attract, but there is no physical contact initially, isn't it? You know that like poles will repel and unlike poles will get attraction. In this example, it is very clear that there is no initially physical contact between these two magnets, but you can see the force of attraction or repulsion. That's why magnetic force is also one of the non-contact force. Let's recap today's part of the lesson. We defined force. Force is an external agent which changes or tries to changes the state of a object, direction and shape is called as a force. And next we discussed types of forces. That means a contact force and a non-contact force and their examples we discussed. In the next video I am going to discuss about pressure. Thank you.